Good day, Doom Tubers. Doom Waves back here, and this video is a little bit late. Normally, I would do this closer to the beginning of January, as for the kind of first quarter backlog games that I'm going to plan on working on the next few months. And now in this case, it's actually just going to be about 2 months because I think today is I don't know what today is, like the 28th or something like that. And so yeah, really we only got February and March left in the first quarter. But I mean, this month was kind of messed up anyway because I did the fourth quarter wrap up in the game of the year after the first of the year, and I don't know, just did a few other things, and I just didn't really feel like recording this video. And actually, I'd kind of done it already. But I just wasn't sure that I was happy with the video, and then I finished one of the games that I talked about, Singularity. So I was like, whatever. I just scrapped it and started over. So now I'm feeling more confident about my choices for one, and yeah, I'm just I don't know. I feel like I'm ready to do this video now. Now, before I start, I want to say that. I've seen a lot of these backlog videos in the past, and if you're new to my channel, what I typically do is I just pick a few games that I'm playing or a few games that I would like to play very soon, and I kind of talk about them a little bit and kind of go over it, because I see a lot of these backlog challenge videos that are just so unrealistic. So I try to keep mine both ambitious and realistic at the same time. So I've picked 8 games here to beat within the next 2 months, and I think that's really doable. But if not, I mean, obviously whatever. And of course, it's always subject to change based on if I pick up any games or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Or I just fall out of the mood to play these selections. So I picked 4 console games and 4 handheld games, kind of actually by accident. And then I looked and saw that those were the games that I chose, and it was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes it all neat and tidy. So I guess we'll start off with the handhelds, and first up is one that I talked about in my last pickup video quite a bit, and so I don't feel like I need to repeat myself a whole lot, and that is Paper Mario Sticker Star. I did get a little bit tired of this game after 10-12 hours of playing it, but I feel like I'm ready to get back into it. I did get 2 of the Royal stickers already, and I think there's 5 altogether, something like that. So I'm partway through, and I was having fun with it. I just kind of got sidetracked and didn't really feel motivated to play this, but I think that I will give it a good go here and see if I can't finish up this game. Next up is another game. I did start this the other day. I'm not really sure why, because I had so many other games started, but I just really wanted to. I just was really in the mood to play a first-person dungeon crawler, and I just received this game as a gift, so I could not resist, and I went ahead and I started The Dark Spire. Now, this game, I can already tell, is going to be absolutely brutal in difficulty. I have already selected my characters and made a party and played through kind of the training mission or whatever that they send you through in the beginning, and then I've made my way into the tower, also known as the Dark Spire, and yeah, I'm still just trying to get my footing a little bit, just trying to kind of explore, the first section of the game, get into some random battles, and get my butt kicked to see, kind of the limitations, in the very beginning of the game. And I haven't read much into it, but what I'm hoping is that after grinding up a few levels, kind of do this the slow way, where you go to town after every other battle, go back to the town to heal and that sort of thing, which I'm used to because I really like these kind of old school grind heavy RPGs, and not just not just first-person dungeon crawlers, but just classic, Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior, those style of RPGs where it did really require a lot of effort and grinding before you could move forward in a lot of places. And I don't mind that. I kind of find that I feel like once I've accomplished something in the game, I feel like I truly did work for that and I did accomplish it. So I can really appreciate a game that is not afraid to be difficult. That said, I do like easy games, but this is just a different kind of a game. It's not difficult like a platformer or first-person shooter can be difficult if you raise a difficulty, where there's more enemies kind of and more panic and just harder situations. It's not quite the same with a turn-based RPG. You can still kind of take it slow and work out a method, and just work out a strategy that really works for you. And so what I'm hoping is that you can actually get to that happy, where you grind and move forward and grind and move forward, as opposed to, say, Ultima Exodus, where the more you grind and the stronger you get, then so do the enemies. The enemies get stronger, so there's no point in grinding. Because it actually hurts you more than it helps you in that game, because the enemies get just outrageous after you've gained a few levels. So in that game, it is beneficial to just kind of move quickly. Next up is a game that I have put a ton of time into, but I think I'm only about halfway through with the game, and I just need to get going with it because it's a beautiful game. It's an excellent game. I love it. This was the first game in the series that I started, but I've since beat another game in the series, and that is Ys 7. A lot of my friends here on YouTube talk about the Ys series quite a bit, and rightfully so. It's an awesome series, and I really enjoy it, what I've played so far. And I've got 2 or 3 other Ys games to play besides this one, and I beat Ys 1, Book 1, and I need to beat Book 2. I started it on Steam, but I haven't finished it. And then I've played also a ROM of Ys 3 for the Super Nintendo, but I also have Oath and Felghana on PSP, and then I have Origins also, and I need to beat this one too. I love the party system, which is really great because I hear that that Celceta is like that too. Has the same sort of party mechanic where you can switch between the characters and use the different styles of combat, which is nice because I really did like that in this game. I don't know, it was just fun. And but I can also appreciate just using the one character, and I think that I'll get a good taste of using just the one character when I finally get around to playing Oath and Felghana, because I think you just play as Adol, but it's a lot like graphically a lot like this game. So that's Ys 7. And then the last handheld that I'd like to beat within the next couple of months, which shouldn't be a problem because I've heard that once you get started with this game, you kind of just plow through it, and that is, of course, Zelda Link Between Worlds, a game that needs no introduction or any explanation. Just need to play it. That's what it boils down to. Alright, that's the handheld games. Now for console games, and kind of accidentally, these are all shooters, and these are all RPGs. That wasn't on purpose. That just seemed to be how it happened. So I did pick all first-person shooters, or not all first-person. One of them is third-person, and I'll just talk about that one first. That is, of course, The Last of Us. I am about halfway through with this game, I think. And the reason I say that I think is because I'm just going by the percentage completion that it says I have done. Now, I don't know if that means I think it's like 44, 45%. completion is what it says. Now, I don't know if that means just 45% way through the story, or if that means just like I've done 45% of what I can do in the game. So, I mean, that could mean that I'm further in the story than that, but I don't know. Either way, I feel like I'm about halfway through the game, and it's starting to get really good. And I'll admit that when I started the game, I didn't quite get the hype, and that's because, first and foremost, because I kind of suck at stealthy games, and I also suck at third-person shooters, I'm coming to find. I want to get better at them because I have several that I want to play, and so I'm working on it. And so far, though, in the beginning of the game, I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't dislike it because I did see how the setting and the story were really, really good and really compelling, and make you want to play the game, and that's why I continued to play. And then I got, a further way in, and I was happy with where I was. And then I put it down for a couple of weeks, and after beating Singularity this past weekend, I put this back in, just like whatever. I'll just put Last of Us back in, see how much further I get. And I tell you what, the story really picked up right at that moment where I was, and it started to get really good, and just some really great tension, and just really, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. I still am not thinking that this is the greatest game of all time or anything like that. But I kind of get it now. I kind of understand why so many people touted this game as such an amazing experience, and of course one of the best games of 2013. So there you go. I plan on beating The Last of Us probably pretty soon, within the next couple of weeks, hopefully, because like I said, I'm a good amount into it. Now, I wasn't really feeling like playing that tonight. So I played a couple other things just off and on. I played a little bit of Plants vs. Zombies and Heavy Weapon on PS3, and those are just kind of pick up and play games. I know that like Plants vs. Zombies does have, levels, and it does get more difficult. So I could kind of keep track of progress on that or whatever. Just not that big of a deal because I don't plan on playing it, to completion in one sitting, or playing it from start to finish without considerably long breaks in between. I like the game though. I still really want to try the DS version of that game at some point, but the PS3 version's nice, and I really like the PC version. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. So after I got tired of that, I decided, okay, I'm going to do it. After I talked so much about how Singularity reminded me of Bioshock, I decided, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put Bioshock back in, and that's what I did. And I tell you what, my opinions about this game have kind of improved, I think. Obviously, I played, I don't know how long. I don't even remember where I was exactly. I couldn't tell you the name of the area that I was in. But it was a ways in, and it took me a really long time. And I played this evening, and I blasted through the first segment of the game. Because I remembered a lot of what I was supposed to do. Some of the problems last time was just kind of confusing. As I just wasn't prepared to solve puzzle type situations and do the things that I had to do that time. I was more looking for a straightforward first-person shooter, and also I just really wasn't in tune with the combat, the plasmids, and the wrench. But I'll tell you what, I'm really liking it now. Oh man, like I said, I only played for an hour and a half maybe this evening, and I'm on board now. I'm ready to roll with this game. I'm ready to see where this game takes me, because I'm having a lot of fun this time with it, and for that I'm really glad. And one thing that I can say that's probably helping is I'm always just a little bit more comfortable playing games, especially games like this, in here in the game room, because literally, you see where my camera is, and you kind of see where I'm sitting. My television is about a foot behind where this camera is, so it's only about, I don't know, maybe 3.5, not quite 4 feet away from me. And I also play when I'm in here with a headset on, so I've got the headphones on, and the sound is just right there, and the TV is pretty close, and it's just quite a bit more immersive experience, and also I can see and hear things just tons better. Whereas before, even though I was playing on a big screen, I was probably 10, 12 feet away from the TV, and the sound was down pretty low, and I just couldn't hear that well. You'd be amazed if you haven't played BioShock, just the different things that you hear from Rapture, and I'm really, really, really digging it now, and for that I'm thankful, because I was so lukewarm on the game from the start, and now that I'm enjoying it, I really hope that I can power through it, and also play BioShock 2, which is sitting over there on the shelf also, and finally pick up and play Infinite, now that it's been out for 6, 7, 8 months. I don't even know how long. It came out, I want to say last spring or something like that. So hopefully, I can pick that up soon, because it's probably cheaper now, and yeah, looking forward to it. Last 2 games, these are just kind of, I really want to play both of these games, but they're also kind of, I don't know what to say, alternates. These 2 games are not critical that I throw in. One of them I want to play a little bit more than the other, but at least with the other 2 console games that I said, I do really want to power through and finish these, and a couple of the handheld games also are kind of alternates. But these 2, I really want to play them, but it's okay if I pick something else up that sounds better, or just grab something else off the shelf that sounds better. So the first one here is Killzone for the PlayStation 2. I borrowed this from Haas a while back, and my brother-in-law had been borrowing my PlayStation 2 to play Ratchet & Clank, which is fine, because he asked if he could borrow it, and that's cool. And so I put this one down. I did start it a while back. I want to say it's probably about a month ago, maybe a little more than a month ago. I think it was actually, yeah, it was before Christmas, because he got his Xbox One for Christmas, and that's kind of why he slowed down with the Ratchet & Clank. So, yeah, I'm interested in the series. I don't know much about it because I've never played any of them, and so yeah, I borrowed this one and Killzone 2, month and a half, 2 months ago, something like that. So maybe I'll finally get into the series a little bit. I really do want to pick up the trilogy though for PlayStation 3 instead of playing it on PlayStation 2. I'll do it, but I'd really rather play it on PlayStation 3, especially with the trilogy. All 3 games being in the same package. I don't know if they're on the same disc, but they are on the same package. And this one I really do want to play, and I actually was looking on howlongtobeat.com, and this is actually a really short game. I was actually kind of surprised. I thought that this would be a little bit more immersive and long. It said it was only like 6-7 hours to beat this game. And yeah, Red Faction. For as much as I loved Red Faction Armageddon, and I had never played the original, so this one actually takes it back to a first-person shooter, which is the way the series started as a first-person shooter, where and Guerrilla and Armageddon are third-person. So really want to get back to the roots of this series, because I loved Red Faction Armageddon, and I hear really good things about this game. A lot of people really enjoy it, and I have this one, and if I play this one and I love it, I have the second one too. So there you go. That is my kind of all over the place first quarter backlog games. And of course I'll be back on April 1st or somewhere right around there with a kind of an update, and we'll let you know how it ended up. Thanks for watching. Doom Waves out.